Oh, this honey smells lovely. Sure hope I'm not allergic. Oh. Achoo! Oh. Wonderful. So remember last week when I asked you about floating like a butterfly and stinging like a bee? It's time to follow up on the second part of that. I have here a honeycomb called Call the Swarm, and I'm sure you can probably guess what it does. As soon as I press Q, some cool particle effects, a sound, and a pile of bees explode for me. And it even has a 20-second cooldown. And the bees only have a 15-second lifespan. Now it's time to show you how to do it. And before I do that, this was the original way. It was a little bit choppier than this way. But both are still going to be a bit of a nuisance to explain, so let's just get right into it. Okay, so first things first, we're going to need the setup blocks. Now, first of all, we're going to want scoreboard objective setup again. So you want to... I'll just clear this. You want to make sure to add another timer dummy objective called bee timer. It doesn't function any different from grenade timer, it's just going to do what we need to. And you're going to want to add a team named bees and displayed as bees. Just activate those and you're good to go. Next up, we're going to want the actual honeycomb that summons the bees. So you're going to give, yourself and the nearest player. Also, replace any instances of the red MC in the commands with your name or whoever's getting the power. You know how this works. You're going to want to give the honeycomb tagged with bee swarm and displayed as called a swarm. Pretty similar to the ascend-descend thing. Now for the second part of setup, which is these two blocks here. This is constantly making me join the bees team. I mean, I only really need to do it once technically, but I'm always going to have it there. And this makes bees join the bees team, but only the bees that are tagged as bees. So anything tagged as bees, not actual bees. Oh my lord, I'm saying bees a lot. But that's because all the bees we summon, which are with these 5 blocks here, are tagged as bees, so they join the bees team. Now, isn't that just the bees' knees? Get me away from the bees, please. Okay, next up we have this. So, the left side runs all the logic we're going to need, and the right side runs any timer management. So let's start with the logic. Right here, oh, this is a doozy. We're going to execute as any entity that is an item, and also is a honeycomb and is tagged as bee swarm. And we're going to be adding 1 bee timer to it constantly. So that means that anytime we throw this and it becomes an item, it starts getting 1 bee timer added to it every tick. Which is important because, right here, it kills the item, honeycomb, bee swarm, all that. It kills it as long as it has a bee timer score of 3. Now, that is very important because I initially just killed it immediately, except that meant that whenever you gave yourself the item, it also triggered, and it kind of just looped sometimes, and that was no bueno. So the 3-tick buffer is good enough to never have that issue, and now it just kind of works. Following that, you're going to want another one of these chain blocks, and it's going to set a block right here to redstone block. So this isn't going to be exact. You're going to want to put in the coordinates of wherever this is, and I'll talk about that in a moment. And lastly, we're going to give ourselves the call to swarm. And that is actually just the exact same block right here, except copied and pasted over right there. And turned into a conditional chain block. So, easy enough. On the right, we have the timers. And this command right here is constantly subtracting 1 bee timer from me as long as I have 1 or more bee timer. That's because matches is used in place of like equals or greater or equal, then because I can use an actual number or number range, which is so nice, and I want to act like I didn't just learn about this recently. Next up here, we're going to want to be counting up the bee timer on anything with the bees tag. And following that, we're going to be checking if there's any entities with the bees tag back here. Hello, no insert. Anything with the bees tag, if it has over 300 bee timer, it's going to kill itself, which is why I'm going to summon these bees, and I'm going to watch them for a bit. And then they're going to die, just like that. So all that does is make it so that the bees only last 15 seconds, so you can't just create infinite bees. Last but not least, we have this strip right here, which is where the magic happens. Now, this block I mentioned where it sets a redstone block, that's where it comes in. So beneath it, I suggest setting it to air or something like that. So, just set the block above it to air so that it gets destroyed as soon as it's triggered. You can see how it works. Now, there are 2 possibilities when we use this, because I have added a cooldown function, so again, no infinite bees. No crashing, no crazy abuse, just 5 bees. Now, for a cooldown, you're going to want to check if bee timer matches, let's see here, 1 or higher. So if I still have a bee timer count, because it gets set to 400 when I use it, right here. So if I'm still not at 0 on the timer, all it does is play a shield break sound, and all you're going to want to do for that is copy this command. Notably, right after master is who can hear it, and it's just me for the shield break, but for the other sound, anyone can, as you can see with the add A. I just thought it'd be a better indicator to only you that it doesn't work. Next up, on a success, so we're going to be running another comparison, but if we want less than or equal to 0 for the B timer score on myself, again, tracked by this, and if that's the case, we're going to set my B timer score to 400, which in ticks is 20 seconds. It's 20 seconds. And then in the next block, we're going to play any sound, really. I chose a gas shooting a fireball because that sounds like I'm shooting a bunch of bees everywhere, you know what I mean? Following that, we're going to want to summon some dust particles that are yellow, because this is RGB for dust particles, and this is the alpha, so how clearly you can see it. It's kind of hard to wrap my head around, admittedly, but I'll just show it here. And then these next 5 blocks are all identical, and that's all you're going to need to know. It's execute as me at my location, summon a bee, name the swarm, and there it is, tags bees. That's very important, and also set anger time to unlimited so it is always upset. And just like that, you have everything you're going to need to summon a swarm of bees. And notably, because we are all on the same team, because of these 2 blocks here, when I summon these bees and then go into survival, we are chill. They are not upset at me, even if I punch them. And, like I mentioned earlier, if I try to summon more bees while I'm still on cooldown, it just makes the sound of not working. Until it does. Oh, but Red, I don't want you to show me these bees in this stupid super flat where no one is. I want you to sting people with them. Well, my friend, are you in luck? Let's pack up this contraption and go set it up on a server. Hey, real quick, it's me. I'm underwater. I forgot to mention, I'm setting this up right now. I have everything exactly the way I showed you on my testing world. Except you'll notice that when I do this, nothing happens. And both tests say that they failed in the output. It's because in order for this to work the first time, you have to /scoreboard players set yourself B timer 0. You have to have your name on the scoreboard, and now it works. I forgot to mention that, but just so you know, we're good. Future Liam here, just to make sure that you actually get the honeycomb back instead of some random player. Make sure to change it to your name in this particular block right here. That's very important, instead of @P. You'll have to excuse me because this next bit can hardly be called a tutorial. Here we go. I see y'all don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Lads, I suppose you're wondering why you've been summoned here today.
Yeah.
Well, I have here something very special. Y'all know,
this looks like a honeycomb.
It does look like a honeycomb. You know what rests inside honeycombs?
What? No.
Bees?
Bees!
Oh. Okay.
Why are they only after me? No.
Oh, what did I do wrong?
If I
Oh,
punch
they
one,
didn't
yes.
like that!
Oh, no!
Oh, okay. It kinda
Oh,
works.
no.
It kinda works.
Eventually. Alright.
If you somehow draw their aggro, yeah.
I have no idea how bees work, evidently. Turns out they just look angry? Because anger time is what makes them upset. And I have that set to, like, basically unlimited.
Huh.
But I have no idea how to make them aggro. Okay, you know what? Here, stick with me on this. Well, that was a bust. Turns out you can make the bees angry, but you can't direct their anger towards anyone. So, now is as good a time as any to say that you can summon whatever you want. In this case, I've removed the anger time thing, and I've replaced it with a wither skeleton named Totally a Bee. And you'll see that it has the same desired effect. Okay, I'm back, and I have a better solution.
Alright, cool. Can you press the button?
The button. Which button? Oh. Houston, we are the
You know
problem?
button. Yep. Alright, let's see what the bees are up to.
Ah, yes, the bees. The bees.
Do I need to be in survival mode? Oh!
There we go. Get him, my children. Get him. Get him. Get him.
I didn't realize there was a ravine there.
This is gonna be a very scuffed video.
Those weren't bees, Liam.
No. Turns out I cannot make bees aggressive. I really tried. Well, as choppy as that may have been, you now know how to float like a butterfly and sting like a bee. Boom. My name is Red, and if you have any ideas for future Minecraft powers I should cover in one of these videos, leave a comment and tell me. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in whatever comes next. See ya.